Hey guys, on this episode of Make It Real, One Day Build Edition, we're going to try making Hiccup's flaming collapsible sword from How to Train Your Dragon number 3. Why? Well, because over the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy, Hiccup has literally become Steve Rogers. And, as you know, I have a habit of doing Steve Rogers Make It Real projects, like his original electromagnet shield, and more recently, his new Wakandan shield. Plus, I have a pretty sweet cap costume. So, let's make Hiccup's flaming sword. Alright, so we've made tons of flaming swords before.
But Hiccup's sword is collapsible. How are we going to do that?
Well, we've got these extendable police batons that we got from Medieval Depot.
And we even made extremis sticks from them.
Alright, let's get started. Alright, so the question is, what kind of gas are we actually going to use for Hiccup's sword? We could use propane, we could use gasoline, or we could even use something like hairspray. Alright, let's start with propane, it's the simplest. So if it's concentrated, you get a nice big blue flame like that, which isn't what we're looking for Hiccup's sword. But if you nozzle it the right way, with say this boring flamethrower, so as you can see, you can get a nice bright orange flame from propane, so that could work. That's actually very similar to Hiccup's sword. We just have to compact this down to the size of a handle, which is possible.
All right, what about hairspray?
Ooh, that could work pretty good too. Let's start by modifying one of these batons. Hey guys, before we continue the build, I'd like to take a minute to tell you about this cool game I've been playing. It's called Sniper Arena.
Headshot!
Sniper Arena is a first-person shooter game where players compete on a worldwide stage to become the best sniper. It's free and available for both iOS and Android phones. With different game modes like Deathmatch, Team Deathmatch, and Domination, it's a ton of fun to play, and quite the adrenaline rush. Rounds feature up to 8 real opponents on the map, and whoever can shoot the most enemies wins the round. Team up with your friends in live chat and create an elite squad to win tournaments to climb up the leaderboard to become the best. Develop your sniper career by taking on daily game tasks and upgrading modern equipment. From sniper rifles, special ammunition, camouflage, drones, helmets, and more, there's even heat vision for one of the helmets. Install Sniper Arena today for free using my link below. Plus, by playing the game, you support our channel and ensure we can continue making these awesome videos. Let's start by modifying one of these batons to see how we can get the fire to actually come out of it. Let's start with a smaller one, just in case we do something wrong and we wreck our only 2 long batons. Science! Cut! So we're gonna need some kind of wick if we go with gas, but I'm thinking we should use propane. Alright, so we need to drill some small holes into this. You're bending it back a little bit.
1 hour later.
Yeah, well, that could work quite well.
Let's try to see how butane looks. Woo! All right, so I'm gonna go finish up some more holes and we'll test it a little bit more.
I'm going to take a look at actually how we're going to attach these together and maybe see how we can actually use butane instead of propane.
So CNC mills are great, but the problem is you can't feel how much pressure you're putting on the bit, and it's a lot easier to break the bits. I'm gonna see if I can get a smaller chuck in this and try that instead. Let's get this in there. Now, we can get this in there.
Bogdan!
Ooh, that's nice.
That's sword length.
Perfect.
And it's tiny. Alright, so I think the small butane propane torches might do the trick, but I want to try one more thing with propane, because I know with propane we can get a lot of flow and a lot of fire. So what we could do is have a propane tank on my back to the sword up my sleeve.
Okay.
Ah! Oh. That looks really cool. Okay, we're gonna have to do something like this because that is awesome. Next step is adding holes to the second piece and see if we still have the same effect as we go and whether or not the pipe will actually seal on the next one. No leaks! Whoa, cross of fire. Let's put 1-inch holes in this guy now.
Okay.
And we'll see if we still get this same awesome effect. Instead of propane, we could also just use butane. fit that in your belt pretty easily. Sweet. I'm impressed. 1 can of butane. Can make a lot of fire. But can it do 3? Oh boy. Any? Not bad. Hey Bogdan, come here.
Hey, look what I, holy shit, what are you doing?
So, a single
say
can
that.
of butane is enough for the fuel source. We'll use 1 can to power both of the blades to have the fire shooting out from the blade, but then we'll have the second can do a flame burst in the middle because it's just going to ignite from the other fire. Butane it is. I hope we bought more of this.
It's still on fire.
That's fine. Butane. Sweet. Look at that. Look at that. All right. So, I think we've decided how we're going to do Hiccup's flame sword. We are going to use this black 1/4-inch hose. All we have to do is put some fittings onto the end caps of the sword, and then we have our fuel source going right into the handle. Bogdan's going to start drilling all the holes, and I am going to attach our pipe fitting to the base of the handle. Just have to remove this clip from the inside, drill out the hole, and then I can tap it for the pipe thread. And there we go. Now, just attach your fuel line, and we have a flaming baton. All right, let's make the second one. That works like a charm. And then this hose just goes up your sleeve. No one sees it.
All right, James, I got the holes on this one done.
Sweet. Let's see if it works. Doo-doo-doo. I think it's perfect. That is cool. All right, Bogdan, take me a second. All right, ready for the first test? Actually, I want to see something. Flame on! Man, just one.
If I put it upside down.
Whoa!
That's the flame sword.
Holy moly. Okay, yeah, we did it. We did it! Now all we have to do is give it a pointy tip so it's sharp, and then another piece welded right there.
Okay, so basically all we have to do is model this thing up, make a couple of triangles, plasma cut them, weld them on,
way too
sand the
fast.
whole thing.
Let's keep going! Alright, let's take a look at the design to actually make this look like Hiccup's sword. So if you search Hiccup's fire sword, quite a few reference images come up. All we really have to do is make these attachment points, little triangles in between the 2 police batons. The first step though is actually modeling up the police baton that we have so we can see what it looks like and we can design the parts to fit to it. Now I'll just get my fancy calipers out. If you're an engineer, you know that Mitutoyo calipers are awesome. 15. Alright, so there is our baton. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's see what Bogdan thinks. Hey Bogdan! 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 Wow, my hair is terrible. What do you think about this shape? So that's what it kind of looks like. So I think for this one, we'll actually put 2 on, 1 on either side.
Yep.
And then the middle one, I'm actually thinking much more like stabby sword-like. Alright, I'll export these. Alright, so we're going to start by welding the connector pieces for the middle section right like this, and we just have to clamp that, weld in place, then we can do one here and one at the tip, and then when they all fold up they'll look really cool, all sliding in together like that. Woohoo! That looks awesome. Alright, so Bogdan got the rest of it welded, and I gotta say, it's looking pretty sweet. Check this out. Oh, I think that is actually, this is a short sword. This is a full-size short sword. But let's see what it looks like.
Fire it up.
Alright. Dragon Slayer! Oh wait, no, he doesn't kill dragons, he befriends them. That is awesome. Follow us on social, at the Hacksmith.
Okay, I'm going to bed.
Look at all this cool stuff you guys can see.
The next morning.
Alright, so the way Hiccup lights his sword is he's actually got a little flint striker on the side, and we have these little keychain lighters that Bogdan found, which actually look quite antique, so they'll fit with the design quite nicely. And we tested it last night, and just having it right there is enough to light up the whole blade. So we just need to weld a little pipe on here so we can slide this into place, and then you'll be able to light it with one hand.
I've got a piece of steel rod here. I'm going to turn that on the lathe, and then weld it on.
Time to look at some of the aesthetics. So we're going to be wrapping the handle in some kind of leather, but we also need a dragon head on the pommel of the sword hilt. Oh, isn't that adorable? Alright, there's a nice side view. Ah. Alright, so we've got Toothless's head done. I'm actually going to install that on the back of the hilt, like so, one on each side. Now, I think I want to weld a bit of steel on the back of this, and then we can paint the eye green. Light it. Ah! People know where this sword was manufactured. Give me some. There, it's done. Now we're actually going to put the other grip tape over top of it now. Ooh, it's so grippy. Hiccup's fire sword. Alright, give me some propane. Whew. We just need more gas. I got that a success. I think that's good for the first test.
Of course, I will have to make some adjustments. Lengthen the shaft, add another canister for more Monster's Nightmare gel. Oh, I am getting to work on this thing right away.
Alright, so we finished Hiccup's Inferno sword, and it's pretty awesome. It's assembled by using 2 police batons with perforated holes. Now, instead of using monstrous nightmare saliva, we're actually just using propane piped through the hose. Now, unfortunately, since it was a one-day build, we didn't quite have time to do both abilities of the Inferno sword, so we weren't able to put the hideous sippleback gas into the handle. But we do actually have the cartridges, and it works pretty good. Let me show you. Toothless, give me a light. Not bad.
I'm gonna give him some tears. Just cry for me.
Alright, let's see what this thing can do. Here! Let's try that again. Ha! Another one. Woo! Ew, got a head on my sword. It's hot. All right, let's see how fast we can light a fire with this. Woo! Here we go. I don't know if this is gonna work. Keep them warm, Ian? Mm-hmm. Let's make it exciting. Plus, it makes a great barbecue. Those are some good looking marshmallows. A little bit hot. Man, that bacon sure is looking good. Oh shoot.
What are you drinking, man?
I like my ale strong. There we go. Yum. And the final touch. Sriracha. Alright, that was awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed this project. It's probably one of my favorite one-day builds we've done so far. Let us know in the comments below what other projects you want to see us try and tackle in just one day. Thanks for watching, and make sure you're subscribed.
Come here, Toothless.
She has teeth though. Mind you, Toothless also has teeth. I like my ale.